Good afternoon once again. My name is Ray Swire, and I am a science teacher and the career counselor here at Bodwell High School. And this afternoon I will also be your graduation Master of Ceremonies. On behalf of our graduates, the faculty and staff, I would like to warmly welcome each of you to our graduation ceremony of the class of 2017. To begin our afternoon, it is my pleasure to introduce the Principal of Student Life, Mr. Stephen Gooby, to welcome our guests and say a few words.
Thank you, Ms. Swire. Grads, the day has arrived, your high school graduation. Let's take a moment to offer a salute to our guests today. Notably, we have our honored guest speaker from the David Suzuki Foundation, Dr. Peter Robertson, as well as an accomplished local author, former school trustee, and mother to one of our very successful alumni, Mary Tassi. Welcome. For those who have traveled a long time to come here, rearranged your busy schedules, and in some cases brought siblings, uncles, aunts, grandparents, and friends, we are all thankful to you for helping recognize the accomplishments of these young men and women. For those who just arrived to Bodwell for the first time, you might feel similar to when our grads came as new students many terms ago, tired, yet excited and curious. You have arrived to a very special place in the world. What makes it special? Our grads may have found various personal reasons over their time here. Here are a few more reasons. 1, the school that we are in today is an example of people of great differences, working, learning, and living together in relative harmony. In a world which is questioning diversity, our grads are proof that what unites us toward a common goal can be more powerful than the differences that divide us if we try hard. 2, where we are at, the land that Bodwell sits upon, is a unique place. The school was built here in 2003 when we moved over from the city of Vancouver. But for 40 years, did you know that the place under our feet held huge logs from a factory which processed towering trees cut down from the North Shore mountains, then shipped as wood to distant places in the world? It speaks to the importance of trade and relations between nations. 3, before this, the land which Bodwell sits upon was actually not land at all. It was water. The creek next to the school was once a wide mud estuary carrying cold snow melt as it reached the salty ocean tides. Bodwell sits at the edge of a vast rainforest, and you might see an example of that later on today outside. Our place is the home of salmon, eagles, and many other living creatures, some of which we easily see and you've seen just a short walk away from the school. 4, the land upon which we study and live has been utilized and cared for by peoples for thousands of years. Nowadays, events in local schools, universities, and in the community often begin by acknowledging that where we gather is the unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, including the territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, Stolo, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. We are honored and thankful to call our nearby First Nations neighbors our friends as our relationship moves forward together. Finally, 5, Bodwell, of course, is in Canada, a nation which in just a few months celebrates exactly 150 years since colonies first formed one dominion called Canada. Bodwell is lucky to exist in a country that continues to welcome people like all of us to visit, live, and study on its shores. Our grads have called this special place home, right? For the past many terms and years. They know it to be special in so many other ways as well. Guests, thank you. Through your presence, you have made this place even more special today. And grads, congratulations. Wherever you go, we hope you will always remember this place, these people, and what you have accomplished together. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. Gooby, for those inspiring words. It is now my pleasure to introduce you to the president of Bodwell High School, Mr. Paul Ewan.
Hello, graduates. Hello, parents and guests. Hello, students and staff. I'm very pleased to congratulate today the class of 2017 to approach the end of an important phase of your life journey to graduate from secondary education. Almost all of you will move on to post-secondary. Many will continue in Canada while others will return home to further your studies. Those of you who will study in the university in Canada, by the time you graduate, will have spent a total of 6, 7, or even 8, 9 years in Canada. By then, it will be long enough for you to have a home feeling here. You probably will still think by that time that where you were born and raised would be the more important home. It is natural, too, that you will feel having two homes in your hearts. I came to Canada almost 30 years ago. In the first couple of years, Hong Kong was clearly home in my heart. Then I started Bodwell. When Bodwell was 10 years old, I felt that Canada and Hong Kong were equally homes. Today, Canada is clearly my real home. Although I still miss friends and relatives, the Hong Kong harbor, and some nice restaurants there. Even today, I still enjoy watching Chinese movies and listening to Chinese songs. So culturally, China is still a home to me. So what is the meaning of home? I recently read a research conducted by international students called Carrie Wu, a student at UBC pursuing a doctoral degree in sociology. The topic of his research is about international students' migration plan. Migration is moving from one country to another for good. As part of his research, he talked to 232 international students at UBC from over 50 countries. He asked those students, whether after graduation they would like to stay in Canada or to return to their home countries, and how they see the meaning of home. Have you ever asked the same question to yourself? Of all the students Carrie talked to, 16% said they would like to stay in Canada after graduation. 27% said they would return home. 57% were unsure of staying, returning home, or going elsewhere. I would like to read out in their own words what some told Carrie. Among those thinking they would stay in Canada, that is the 16%, was Nima, a student from Tanzania, Africa. She said, "I spend more time here than I actually do at home. So this is home again. I also feel like the life that I've been able to get here, the things I'm working on now, and the people I've met so far, it has made it feel like this could be home." Another who thought staying after graduation was Ricardo, a Mexican graduate student. He said to Carrie, "It is not just a personal project. We see that coming to Canada as a family project." Ricardo had already decided that Canada was home even prior to arrival as a student, and that it was about family, not only about himself. Others wanted to make Canada their new home because they were unhappy with their country of origin. They were concerned about political unrest, wars, poor economy, pollution back home. Among those who plan to return to the home country after graduation, that is the 27%, was Dacia from China. He told Kerry, "The reason I want to go back is my parents and my grandma. I really want to take care of them. I grew up with my grandma, so she is very special to me. So when I have the ability, I want to return the favor." Mei Li, a second-year undergraduate student from China, had struggled in Canada. She said, "I don't know how to be a part of the Canadian culture or Western culture. I think that's a problem for most international students. Unless they came here before, maybe before high school, like, for example, before age of 12, they cannot really adapt to the local culture." Yuto, a male undergraduate student from Japan, shared his experiences of discrimination. "Well, you know, from time to time, you just walk down the street and a bunch of drunken would drive up and be like, 'You Asian, get out from our country,' and throw a beer bottle to us. You know, you get racial comments like, 'You guys are yellow. What are you doing here? Just stick with your group and whatever your language you are speaking. Speak English, God damn it.' Over half of the students Kerry talked to could not choose to stay or to return. Within this group, some felt home could be in anywhere. Some others felt not belonging to anywhere. Paige, a student from the US, was one who could live anywhere. Aspired to be an artist one day, she said, "I certainly wouldn't be unhappy to move back to Boston, but I'm also open to other places becoming a home. And so, yeah, I mean, there's always the practical consideration of what kind of places have funding for the arts." Lily belongs to the second type, not feeling home anywhere. She said, "Throughout my life, I have moved around from one country to another due to the globalized company my father works for. I'm originally from India, however, I have never lived there nor was born there and have moved to different countries 5 times in my life so far. This causes a major confusion in forming my identity." Canada is a country with the majority of its people being immigrants or generations after immigrants. First they came from Europe, then from Asia, Latin America, and Africa. Our multiculturalism makes immigrants feel more accepted and included. Canada, being the second largest country in the world in terms of size, geographical size, actually needs and wants more immigrants to grow its population, develop its resources, and sustain its economy and tax base. The current immigration policy provides convenience for those who graduate from post-secondary here to stay. As an immigrant myself, I'm grateful to the native people here who have welcomed many of us from around the world to their home, and also to previous immigrants who have built cities, the economy, the public services for our enjoyment, and the social systems and values that we are proud of. Although I'm a happy immigrant, I'm not trying to sell Canada to you. Instead, I encourage you to see the various choices you have ahead of you. That is, what you want to become. Not only your role and career in a society, but also which place to belong to. You may consider where you will be happier and be more useful and valuable. There are in our world more developed and less developed places. There is an opinion that the brightest, the most educated, and the most dedicated people should serve in the most needed place. It is reasonable for some of you to think that your countries need you more than Canada. It is also reasonable for you to think that you may help to build a better world, starting from Canada as a springboard. For me, being able to work for Bodwell here in my new home, where we offer useful education for young people from around the world, I have realized my own value as a global citizen. However, I have friends who became immigrants after studying here, but later decided to return to where they were from, seeing more values in themselves in developing their own countries. Either to stay or to return, I think international students will no doubt help to better connect and cement our world. To the class of 2017, I would like to heartily congratulate you. You have already been through some tough tests in life that many young people of your age do not have to go through. You have lived on your own without parents close by to protect and guide you. You have made many important decisions independently, from choosing courses to take to universities to apply to. You have made the best of the opportunity living and studying away from the comfort of your own families and societies, to learn another language and to experience different cultures. Ahead of you will be more choices and decisions, including a difficult one, that is, to stay or to return. Not many people in the world today need to and have the opportunity to make such a big decision at a young age. I'm sure you will be ready in a few more years to know better what home will be best for you. Thank you.
Thank you for your meaningful words, Mr. Yuen. You students certainly have a lot to think about regarding their future. I would like to now ask you all to welcome Mr. Jens Nissen and the Bodwell Band as they perform Into the Clouds by Richard L. Sacito. Thank you, Mr. Nissen, Ms. Dosman, and the Bodwell Band for all your wonderful preparation. I would now like to call upon our Vice Principal, Mr. Hellis, to introduce our special guest speaker, Dr. Peter Robinson.
Thank you, Ms. Swire. When you look at the path that our next speaker has taken in life, a few things strike out at you. He's a man who loves the outdoors, spending as much free time as he can exploring the coastal mountains or kayaking among the idyllic Gulf Islands. He's a man who firmly believes in social responsibility, environmental sustainability, clean energy, livable community, and global citizenship. These are not just key catchphrases. His professional roles, the way he lives his life, all attest to his commitment to them. Dr. Robinson started out as a park ranger and was awarded the Medal of Bravery by the Governor General of Canada for his part in a harrowing 4-hour rescue of a couple whose camper veered off the road and plunged into the cold, raging waters of the Similicameen rivers near Manning Park. He monitored prison conditions with the International Red Cross in Rwanda. He led a team that monitored detained asylum seekers in BC. He subsequently joined BC Housing, Mountain Equipment Co-op, and most recently, the David Suzuki Foundation. Under Dr. Robinson's 7-year leadership, Mountain Equipment Co-op nearly doubled in size, expanded its reach across the country, added 1 million new members, and increased its annual sales from $147 million to $240 million, all while earning international accolades for transparency, ethical sourcing, policies, and sustainable building and business practices. He's proof that environmental protection and sustainability can indeed be profitable and make good business sense, that one does not have to come at the cost of the other. During his time at the David Suzuki Foundation, Dr. Robinson steered the organization through the recession, refocused the donor program, expanded their reach in the community and into Quebec while moving to a regional structure to address local issues. If I were to continue telling you about his many, many years of humanitarian work, the various boards he has served on, or his additional educational backgrounds, you'd be spending the rest of the afternoon listening to me. I don't think anybody want to do that. Instead, we're going to ask Mr. Griffin to play a small introductory video. Then we're going to ask Dr. Robinson to join us on stage. Mr. Griffin?
Solutions for living within the limits of nature. To do that, we really follow the example of our founder, who is both a journalist and a scientist. And that means that we do high-quality science-based research to really find these solutions, to delve deeply into the complex challenges that our society faces, and to find real viable solutions for a path forward. And then we use the other part of our organization that's about education, communication, and engagement, that really represents the journalist part of our founder. And we find ways to actually make those solutions a reality.
Time to bring sustainability into the mainstream, to make it a norm that we will now live by, is actually when you're at school. It's before you've actually developed the habits and before you've actually built this infrastructure that you don't want to change. So putting sustainability into curriculum at the university level or the technical school level is actually critical to ensuring that we're actually going to achieve what we need to achieve over the next couple of decades.
Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Peter Robinson.
I don't know where they found all that stuff. Now, I want to, just before I start my comments, just reflect on, and in particular for the graduates, the importance of this ceremony. Most of us, and most of the students here, would probably think, well, this is just a long, formal ceremony and lots of speeches, and we had the piper and everything else. You have to remember how we create traditions, and traditions that are very important for individuals as they grow older. And the importance of a formal ceremony lends credibility to that. So as you go through today, some of you are going like, oh, when is it going to end? Remember that you will look back at this point and remember it as a milestone in where you went next. So let me, and I know I'm not going to talk about the David Suzuki Foundation in my talk, in my presentation here, because I know I'm going to get some questions afterwards, which I have no idea what they're going to be. Instead, I really have written something that is just for the graduates. So let me get formal now. Students, graduates, family, and there's so many families here today, faculty and staff, I am honored to have been able to speak at this ceremony for graduation of the students at the Bodwell High School. And today's ceremony is a moment to reflect, as it should be for all the graduates, on where you'll be going next. And from this perspective, I can clearly see how my own trajectory, my own journey, some of which you just saw, I can see how the combination of school and work that I've done over the past 45 years all relate to what I would call a competent society. And when I ponder my own career, I recognize that I've had this wonderful opportunity to pursue a wide variety of experiences and challenges, the ability to change direction over time, the seeking of new challenges, and the capacity to always try to give back to organizations and communities in which I've worked is something that I'm very, very conscious of now. Now, I grew up not very far from here in North Vancouver in Lynn Valley in the 1960s, which seems now ancient history to me. Our family lived at the edge of the forest at that time that rose up and over the local mountains, and I spent my childhood wandering, often alone, through that forest and along streams and up into the hills. And it was a wonderful way to grow up. And I filled this world with rich sort of amazement and adventure and risk. And at some point, I think it was around the age of 10, I dreamed of working outdoors someday. And I wanted to be a park ranger. That was my dream from when I was a child. Now, I envisioned a park ranger as this larger-than-life character. I mean, I was 10 at the time. He was dressed in a cool uniform, and his sleeves were rolled up, and he was doing something rangerly, like riding a horse in the backcountry, trekking over mountains, rappelling off some peak, paddling down a raging river, muscles rippling, sweat dripping off my brow. It was a rugged vision. It was manly, and for a young boy, it was incredibly sexy. So when I graduated from high school, like you are right now, the only thing I knew for sure was that I was interested in physical landscapes and natural systems. And I decided right then, at the point you're at right now, that I would begin my work and my post-high school education at the same time. I wanted them to complement each other. And I started a degree in physical geography at Simon Fraser University, but also found myself on the weekends building trails in Mount Seymour Provincial Park. And I went on to pursue all kinds of part-time park rangerly duties: patrolman, ski hill maintenance, forest firefighting, and I really started to like the work. So I decided I would pursue my dream of becoming a full-time park ranger. And as soon as I made that decision, it became apparent that my degree in geography would not provide me with all the skills I needed. So I struck out, and at the same time I was working, I took a diploma in fish and wildlife management. The combination of this degree in geography and a diploma in fish and wildlife management grounded me in ecological systems, forest management practices, fish and wildlife management, statistics, technical report writing, surveying techniques, plant identification, soil geology, ecology, and park management. I learned to read a landscape. And then I graduated. And within a week, I was interviewed for and became the superintendent of all the parks along the Alaska Highway, the terminal range of the Rocky Mountains, the drainage systems of the Peace and Liard rivers. It was a glorious moment for someone who was in their early 20s. And I went on to pursue an amazing career in the outdoors that spanned a dozen years, 12 years, until I reached a point where I felt I wasn't being challenged anymore. So I switched and went into the social housing field. And here was an opportunity to work in communities and to provide resources for those who were having difficulty themselves. And as in my previous position, I recognized that I needed additional education. So I took a baccalaureate program in community economic development, which provided me with new skills in local capacity building and urban systems. My career at BC Housing was equally marvelous to the one at BC Parks, spanning 14 years. I became the CEO of the Crown Corporation, and I learned to read a different landscape, the communities of British Columbia, from small towns to large cities, and how to help create caring and compassionate neighborhoods. But after a time, I felt that familiar twinge of challenge, so when a recruiter approached me about the position of CEO at the Mountain Equipment Co-op, and I assume some of you have been to MEC stores, there's one on the North Shore, I was ready for a change. Now I had to learn a whole new set of skills: retail, manufacturing, merchandising, supply chains, distribution systems, e-commerce, sustainability, and ethical sourcing. And as before, you see the pattern now, I looked to complement my work with education. And in my first few years at the co-op, I undertook a master's degree in conflict analysis and management. Now, I actually decided to take the master's program after my experience of monitoring prisons in Rwanda for the Red Cross in 1998. But it became really quickly apparent, as it should for everybody, that our organizations, our institutions, our communities are full of conflict. Conflict happens all the time. And a large organization like MEC, with thousands of employees located across the country, a cooperative business trying to exist in a for-profit universe, because a cooperative doesn't exist for profit, had its own fair share of conflict. And I came to realize that how we resolve conflict can be creative, healthy, productive, and promote positive change. And after 8 glorious years at MEC, at MEC, I felt I had done much, but I was ready for yet another challenge. So I took up the role of CEO at the David Suzuki Foundation, and I've been there since late 2007. And this time, it's a big one. It's more than protecting wild spaces or building local capacity in communities or leading an ethical business. This time, it's about changing how we, all of us, collectively think and act on critical environmental issues. And because this career is so much about people, human behavior, systems, and social change, I felt I needed an even deeper level of education and perspective. So while I've been at DSF, I took a PhD in social sciences. I am the David Suzuki Foundation's first social scientist, and it has proven incredibly useful. My new education has allowed me to see how social movements form, how generations shape the world around themselves, and how social change occurs. And this is the short story that I'm trying to convey to the graduates here today. I have found that the intersection of school and work, career and education has not just been rewarding, but critical to how I achieve what I seek to achieve. And the reason this is particularly true is because everything I've done has been applied. It's applied education. So the message I want to pass on to you has to do with what you've learned at Bodwell High School and how you'll apply it.
and what the lessons will be as you go forward. High school is an amazing moment to begin to chart where you're going to go in the future. It certainly was for me. Remember that story about how that was the trajectory that led me to where I am standing in front of you today. So I encourage you to think deeply on your future direction, and in particular to find a way to combine the curiosity that comes from education with work that you are incredibly passionate about. It's my belief that such a combination is an essential component of what I said at the beginning was a competent society, one that develops critical thinking, the ability to deal with increasing complexity, and our need for longer-term thinking. So I ask you to reflect back on these past few years, which I'm sure have also witnessed your own defining moments, and make them the foundation of where you're going to go next, because the world urgently needs people like you to lead us into the future. Thank you. Oh, no. No. I have some questions, yeah. You're only, Sam stood up to read something and you're all standing up. What are you doing?
Thank you, Dr. Robinson, for this beautiful speech. We actually do have a couple of students who'd like to ask some questions. Tomiwa, all right, step up here. Where's young Jane? All right. I'm going to hand the mic over to Dan.
Yes,
and
please.
ask you the questions.
I'm going home to Nigeria after graduating. How can I benefit my environment at home?
Where are you from?
Nigeria.
Okay. Well, I have come to recognize, did everyone hear the question, by the way? Do you want to repeat it a little louder?
I'm going back home to Nigeria after graduating. How can I benefit my environment at home?
This is a tough question, but the answer is that each of us individually can make a difference. A lot of times we think that an individual is a small drop in a big bucket and that those big buckets are what govern what's going on. But my own experience has been that individuals start to make a difference in how they live their own lives. Think of it as kind of 3 steps. How you structure your own life to live with less of an environmental footprint, the actions you take, and then how you convey this to your immediate family. You know, how do you help them on that journey? And once you get that, once you feel confident in what you're doing and how you do that personally and how your family does it, you can begin to move it into your own community and neighborhood. So just start from where you are, believe that what you do does make a difference, and then move it forward.
Thank you.
Dr. Robinson, thank you for coming to Bodwell today and share such a wonderful speech with us. I understand the mission of your organization is to protect the diversity of nature and to ensure the quality of life. My question is, what do you think that we can do to help achieve those goals and to make a difference and to protect our environment? Thank you.
Wow, that's a big question. So, yes, you just described the mission of the organization, which is it's a very big mission. So if the graduates share any of those aspirations, then you have to find a way to support work in those areas. Notwithstanding the first question, which was how can individuals change themselves, when you're then seeking to make a bigger change to achieve those outcomes, you actually have to work in groups. So, you know, the secret here is to join organizations or work in communities where they have that group approach to solving problems. Inevitably, it's groups that make a difference when we seek to make important changes. And never underestimate the power of a community or a movement to make a change. We see it every day. We're seeing it right now.
Thank you.
All right, I'm done. Thank you.
I would now like to call upon our Principal of Academics, Ms. Kathy Lee, to thank our special guest, Dr. Robinson.
It's wonderful When I heard the band playing Into the Clouds, I thought, okay, that song is going to send our graduates dreaming and running around in the clouds. But what a grounded speech Dr. Robinson has provided us, how he shared his passion and life pursuit with us. Thank you very much. Now, considering, students, that you are going to leave Bodwell very soon, I'm so glad Dr. Robinson touched on all the 6 L's of Bodwell's education. A test here, what are the 6 L's? Number 1, to learn. We learned a lot, both from Mr. Yun's speech and from Dr. Robinson's speech. Number 2, liberate. Just think, go out in the wild, jump down the water, and think as much as you can. Big questions. Where is home? What is my identity? What is the 3rd one? To live as rich as possible. What is the 4th? To love. Love nature, love the world, love each other. And the 2 other ones, to look, where we reflect on important questions, reflect on our connections with people, reflect about issues around the world. And finally, but not the least, you are going to follow the lead from Dr. Robinson, and you need to seek out how to become a leader. So, the old saying says, sky is the limit. But for all of you, I'm going to say, if you are aspiring for space engineering or cyber architects, sky is no longer the limit. So thank you again, Dr. Robinson, for all the encouraging words and rich experience, and our students are going to present you with some souvenirs. Thank you.
So we'll take a picture with the group of you guys. I'm not in it. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Kathy. Thank you, Dr. Robinson, Ms. Lee, Mr. Gooby, Jane, and Tomiwa. Ms. Kathy Lee will now present our Bodwell scholarships to some of our most deserving students.
So, graduates, you have worked very hard to finish your grade 12, and many of you achieve a very high standing. I'm so happy for you. Now, among 184 graduates this year, the faculty have carefully selected 12 outstanding students, and each in their distinct category, to receive a tuition scholarship of $500 toward their future study. Now, each student will receive the scholarship along with a certificate and a medallion. So when your name is announced, even if you might be a bit surprised, just please come up to the center of the stage to receive the award, and then stay on stage to take a picture with the presenter. And I'm going to invite Mr. Doug Graham, our first presenter, for the Mathematics Award. Mr. Graham.
Good afternoon, graduates and special guests. I would like to call Kevin Zekai Lee to the stage. Kevin is this year's recipient of the Mathematics Award. Kevin was and still is fascinated by mathematics during his stay at Bodwell. He was constantly trying problems that were far more advanced than what the curriculum required. He would constantly go above and beyond what was expected of him. This should not be surprising as he received A's in Pre-Calc 11, Pre-Calc 12, Calculus 12, and AP Calculus 12. So on behalf of Bodwell, I'd like to congratulate Kevin Lee on receiving this prestigious award. Very well deserved.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's my honor and privilege to give the music scholarship today, obviously, and I will be rewarding it to Mr. Jack Yee. I'm going to talk as he comes to the stage because he's at the back. So, Jack is the only student since I've taught at Bodwell who has literally been with me since my first moment of teaching here. He was in my very first class I ever taught and has been in band ever since. I'm really old, so that's a long time. Jack has learned, since he's joined band, he learned the clarinet, the trumpet, the trombone, reluctantly, the saxophone, both alto and tenor, and the oboe in the 3 short years he's played here. And as well, you heard him play a lovely clarinet solo today during the Into the Clouds performance. Jack's dedication and standard of excellence to music has been phenomenal. Not subpar, but phenomenal. When he first joined my band class, I remember after a couple weeks I went up to Jack and said, "Have you ever played the clarinet before?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "But it sounds like you've played for a couple years." He's like, "No." And he got kind of offended, but he's just been that kind of student who's been able to play at a very high level since the inception of being in band. So I'd like to congratulate Jack, and woo, here we go.
I'm pleased to have the honor of announcing the recipient of the Bodwell Creative Writing Scholarship. Would Kayla Thomas please come to the stage? Kayla possesses talent, creativity, and a great discipline in writing. Her record at Bodwell is a testament to her desire for success. Kayla is one of the few students who has maintained an A average in every English class at Bodwell, including the notoriously hard English 12. If you ask teachers and staff about Kayla, words such as strong performer, leader, successful, exceptional, and high academic achievement stand out. Having taught Kayla this term, I can attest to both her leadership abilities and her creativity and effort in English. Kayla devotes much time and energy into developing essays and projects that often stand out above the rest. In class, she's used her writing skills to assist other students with peer editing and essay evaluation. Her essays consistently score high marks for her ability to make connections to text and then discuss the main ideas and themes with depth and maturity. Kayla has also excelled in other areas connected to English and creative writing. She was the winner of the first ever Poetry and Voice school-wide competition in the fall of 2015, and a video of her poetry recitation was entered into the national competition in Toronto in spring of 2016. Last term, she carried a lead role in the Bodwell theatrical production. In fact, her future goal is to major in fine arts with an emphasis on theater. When I think of Kayla, this quote by Ernest Babarek comes to mind. Create, not for the money, not for the fame, not for the recognition, but for the pure joy of creating something and sharing it. Kayla, as you go into the world, I hope you will never, ever stop creating. Congratulations.
This year, I am pleased to present the Dedication to English Learning Scholarship to Margarita Kromova. Please come to the stage, Margarita. The Dedication to English Learning Scholarship is a unique recognition. It encourages graduates to continue to strive for success in their chosen field while achieving a deeper, more thorough understanding of academic English. The recipient receiving this scholarship has shown tremendous commitment to learning and using English throughout her years at Bodwell. Margarita began at Bodwell in the winter term of 2014. She joined our academic and English preparation program in grade 8. After achieving very good scores in her classes, Margarita quickly moved through grade 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, achieving excellent grades in all her classes. Her English teachers said that she was a leader and a major contributor in discussion groups. She has been very confident and communicator, always pushing herself to succeed. Furthermore, her participation and loyalty in extracurricular activities shows her strong commitment to learning and using English. All these activities, basketball manager, house captain, to name a few, require strong academic English skills and a willingness to communicate with many different people in English. I commend Margarita on being a role model to all students at Bodwell. She has shown them that with effort and perseverance, excellent English skills are achievable and will help them succeed. Congratulations, Margarita. You make us all very proud.
Fine Arts Scholarship goes to Bandawi Tiramangkong. She always displays a positive attitude and puts extra time and effort into her artistic practice. Her ideas are always unique and creative, and she is continually improving her technical skills. She openly shares her talent with her peers and embraces challenges. I wish her all the best in her future artistic endeavors. Thank you. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to present the Science Scholarship, and I'd like to call up Adele Kamid to come forward to the stage, please. Adele has displayed a high level of understanding of the topics in his science courses. He continually looks for ways to fully comprehend all the concepts. I can tell that he does a lot of thinking, and when he does his thinking, it leads to questions. But when he asks his questions, it's not because he does not understand a topic. Rather, his questions are to confirm the main idea from a lesson because he has fully thought through what those new ideas mean, and he formulated his own summative statement and thoughts. And so he's a great thinker, and he has great ideas and success in his studies. I'd like to congratulate him and wish him best in all his future studies. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to be able to give 2 awards, one for our top male and top female athletes this year. I'd like to invite Olga Yulina and Katsuhiro Yoshua come on stage. For high school students, when their athletic careers are over, it doesn't mean that life ends. You should be a start for them. We have 2 young people coming on stage, and they have been able to do things that no other Bodwell student has been able to do in athletics since I have been here, which is 12 years. Olga, I will start with, who was the captain of the volleyball team this year. She helped her volleyball team to an undefeated season last year and a 2nd place finish in the North Shore League this year. To her, volleyball is life, a game that she loves and she has been playing since she was a very young girl. She can hit with anyone. She can volley with anyone. She can pass with anyone. And she's great as a teammate. Although she admits she loves volleyball with all of her heart, she also knows that she's using volleyball as a springboard for her education. Olga has grown so much as a student, as a person, in the past 2 years. Her maturity was very evident when her coach asked her to help so much in practice and in games. She will be missed, and she is affectionately known on the North Shore as the blonde Russian girl. Tatsuhiro was captain of the boys soccer team and a person who led his team to a North Shore AA championship. He was also a member of the basketball team, and during the past 2 years, he has won 2 divisional North Shore AA championships. Undefeated in league play for the last 2 years, he has a sense of self-worth. He has kicked the soccer ball. He has picked up a basketball. He's been outstanding in the classroom and in the total school life. To be on 2 provincial teams in your final year of high school is fantastic and needs to be praised. He is a great human being, and he deserves even more praise. I would like to thank both of these athletes because they're going to be able to offer the world something beyond their athletic ability. You are truly worth so much more.
Good afternoon, Bodwell. I'm honored today to present Bodwell's Social Studies Scholarship to Jane Meow. Jane is a Bodwell success story. All of her teachers are very proud of her. She started at Bodwell in the AEP program and soon demonstrated a unique personal style that combined friendliness, enthusiasm, and cooperativeness. This positivity was maintained as Jane advanced through grade 10, 11, and 12 courses, and as she participated in Bodwell clubs. Jane has shown that she is a critical thinker. She can seek out credible sources and develop clear thesis statements. She can synthesize complex evidence and deliver insightful conclusions. Bravo, Jane! You are the very deserving winner of the 2017 Social Studies Scholarship.
I'd like now to invite Dr. Robinson back to the stage to help with our final 3 scholarship presentations.
It is our great honor to invite Paula Rivera Ortiz to join us on stage. The Scholarship for Global Citizenship honors a graduate who demonstrates an understanding and ethic of care for the wider world, respects and values diversity, participates in the community at a range of levels, and takes responsibility for her actions. The recipient of this scholarship recognizes her bias and privilege, leads by example, and is willing to act to make the world a more equitable and sustainable place. During her time at Bodwell, Paula has been a dedicated and gracious leader. She is truly guided by altruistic moral principles and demonstrates an understanding of the inherent value of service. Thank you, Paula, for your quiet and reliable leadership and for taking every opportunity to empower those around you. Congratulations on this well-deserved accomplishment.
I'm honored to present the Life Skills Achievement Scholarship. The Life Skills Achievement Scholarship is awarded to the student who exemplifies all the values, behaviors, and skills which are necessary to meet the academic rigor and life challenges of post-secondary life. Could I bring Jan Sassimo Techapitil up to the stage? The recipient excels in the fundamental areas of personal care, interpersonal skills, leadership, and personal planning. The recipient is further recognized for being an active and valuable member of the boarding community and homestay family. Jan is friendly and well-liked in both boarding and homestay. She has a positive, cheerful attitude, and she gladly joins in to give a hand. She's lived with her homestay family for 1 year and has become as loved as a family member. Her host mother has this to say about her. Jan is a lovely girl, such a polite and nice lady. We chat every evening and she helps me put the food away. I appreciate it very much. Jan sets a good example for other Bodwell students and is an ambassador for Thailand. Congratulations, Jan, you're a most deserving winner.
Let's welcome Andre Emiliano Boras Ruiz come up to the stage. The Bodwell Scholarship for Community Service honors the graduate who is guided by altruistic principles, participates in the community at a range of levels, and recognizes the inherent value of services. During Andre's time at Bodwell, he has grown to become an agent for social change who is involved in causes greater than himself and elicits the talents and efforts of others in order to make the community a better place for all. Congratulations to Andre for this well-deserved achievement.
At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the valedictorian from the class of 2017, Tatsuhiro Izawa. Every year, the students of Bodwell get the chance to elect one member of their community to represent their graduating class. This year's valedictorian, Tatsuhiro, possesses a unique mixture of traits that are common in all great leaders. Not just the ability to lead, but the ability to inspire, encourage, and motivate others around them to better themselves and the community as a whole. Tatsuhiro is an outstanding student. He always works extremely hard, and he always gets along well with his peers. He is mature, thoughtful, and very modest. I know he's been involved in school and plays on several sports teams. His quiet leadership has been on full display as the captain of the boys' soccer team, who finished second at provincials. and as the Bodwell Bruins boys basketball team battled their way to a third-place finish at the AAA Basketball Provincial Championship. Tatsuhiro, with guidance and support from his family, has immersed himself into academics, sports, and social engagements. Since joining the Bodwell community, he has continued to be part of a diverse range of activities, clubs, and events, but his involvement can be best summed up by the words from one of his teachers. His politeness and hard work are what draw people to this supportive, confident, and positive young man. His enthusiasm is infectious, and his consistency and dedication towards serving others are what make him a true leader at heart. His contributions as a member of the Homestay Social Committee, the soccer team, the basketball team, and the ski and snowboard team, among others, have been deeply appreciated. Long after Tatsuhiro leaves Bodwell and moves on to greater achievements and challenges, he will be fondly remembered by the staff and students at Bodwell for being a person who created a legacy of giving. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, faculty, and staff, I proudly present to you Tatsuhiro Izawa, our valedictorian for the class of 2017.
Before I begin my speech, I would like to inform you that the fire alarm will be on the test mode between now and 4 p.m. There is no need to evacuate the building if you hear the alarm. I will inform you if anything changes. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of class of 2017, I would like to welcome parents, teachers, staff, alumni, students, and honored guests to the Bodwell High School graduation ceremony. I'm honored to be here as valedictorian, and I'm very happy that you, the graduating class of 2017, have chosen me to represent you. To begin, I would like to say to the graduates, we made it. Looking back to the first semester, it seems like it was just yesterday. There was the first roommate, the first class, the first detention, second detention, and third detention. And then the realization that you were in trouble. We will always remember our first time we went to Walmart with friends and not knowing how to pay with a debit card. But once you learned how to use it, you will use it often and start receiving a message once a month from your parents saying, you are spending too much. Most of us not reply back to them until our bank accounts were almost abandoned by our parents. We grew up both mentally and physically. Every student has experienced their fair share of sadness and anger, including me. I will never forget when I asked my first crush on a date, and she said to me, "I'm sorry, I don't go on dates." I gave up, but 10 minutes later, when I was walking down the hallway, I saw her holding hands with another guy going out of the building. I went back to my room and listened to a song called "We Don't Talk Anymore." I know that things might go wrong in your life, but I believe that class of 2017 can be successful and overcome their difficulties and challenges in life. I would like to share a lesson that I have learned during the past few years at Bodwell. At the age of 14, I was selected to play on the senior boys soccer team. Thank you for selecting me to be on the team, Mr. Graham and Ms. Smith. Last season, we finished second in British Columbia, and we were celebrated as the best soccer team in the Bodwell history. To be honest, I did not care. Of course, I was grateful to be honored like that, but what was more important was the time I spent with the team. Our team bonded and worked together towards a common goal and a common dream. From this experience, I have learned that results do not matter. The key is to live in the moment, enjoy the journey, and appreciate the people around you. Through playing sports at Bodwell, I recognize that the coaches worked hard to make me a better player, that my teammates pushed me to become a better athlete. And I'm thankful for the opportunity I have had at Bodwell. I would therefore like to say a big thank you to all the coaches, to Bodwell teams. Your belief in us, the time you spend with us, the opportunities you made possible for us, create memories we will never forget. Bodwell High School has shaped me into a different person by providing me with a variety of opportunities. This school has allowed me to make friends from all over the world. It has been the greatest experience of my life. For instance, in my opinion, the best soccer player or Boda player at Bodwell is my friend from Zimbabwe, Taco. My brothers, or Kardesh Rilem, from Turkey are the best basketball players I know. I have had the greatest teachers, or Lao Shi, from China, who have taught me how to play League of Legends. I have a friend from Taiwan who introduced me to Yang Mama and forced me to buy bubble tea or Zunjun Nai Cha in my first semester. I have made friends from Nigeria who have taught me slang words like, "Guy, you gingering." I have met a beautiful young lady from Russia who always made me smile. Spasiba, Sofia. And even the Japanese students here have been different, and they always keep me on the right track. すべての人に感謝、ありがとう。Bodwell High School is an environment where you have the chance to make wonderful friends and learn languages from all over the world. I believe that this graduating class appreciates this opportunity. Lastly, I'd like to say to the graduating class of 2017 that we have come a long way, and we are almost done. I would like to thank you for the experiences that have shaped me into a more mature person and for making my high school life unforgettable. I would also like to thank all of our parents, teachers, counselors, hall advisors, administrators, and all Bodwell staff for providing us with opportunities to learn, grow, and make mistakes. We all know the famous quote from Martin Luther King Jr., who once said, "I have a dream." Yes, we all have dreams. We all have something to look forward to, something to strive for, something to challenge our intellect, and something to push us towards our independence. Love and laugh, live and learn, and things are not given but earned. We're the authors of our own story. So let's continue to make our dreams come true. Congratulations, class of 2017. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatsuhiro. You represented your class beautifully. I'd like to ask Ms. Bailey, Ms. Kim, Eliza, and Ella to come to the stage. Support. It is now time for the presentation of the scrolls. I would like to ask Ms. Dalziel, Ms. Lee, and Mr. McIntosh to join me on the stage to begin. As we have a high number of graduates, I would like to ask the audience to please hold off on presenting flowers and other gifts to the graduates until the end of the ceremony. There will be an opportunity for that then. This year is a particularly special year, as it is Canada's 150th birthday. Our graduates will be receiving, on top of their grad diploma, a special recognition from the Prime Minister of Canada, the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau. Part of the Prime Minister's message to our grads includes, congratulations to you and your classmates on your graduation. I look forward to hearing about the accomplishments of Bodwell High School alumni for many years to come.
Good afternoon. The first graduate I'd like to call up to the stage is Shadrach Kiki Avatan. Kiki's favorite memory was art class. Thank you, Miss Weiss. Suleiman Abdul Majid. Suleiman will always remember PE with Mr. Burnett. Oluwula Murray Tomiwa Adekunle Oshinubi. Becoming house captain was a memory that stood out for Tomiwa. Rumasaya Aniola Ajagan. Annie enjoyed participating in all the different sports and activities. Oluwademilade Ajayi. Damie's favorite memory was making amazing friends. Daniela Akpojewa. Meeting new friends and meeting new people and making friends will always stand out for Daniela. Tokshan Alibikova. Tokshan will always remember attending the October leadership camp. Hashim Abdullah S. Al-Mualim. Going on holiday during the break is Hashim's favorite memory. Mateus Fernandez Amarim. Being a member of the swim team will always stand out for Mateus. Yana Ando. Yana enjoyed participating in many different kinds of sports tournaments. Duong Ko O. Spending time with friends is something Duong will always remember. Ayrton Alberto Azpe Ibarra. Ayrton loved the time his friends taught him how to snowboard. Kenan Babizadeh. Meeting new friends is something Kenan will always remember. Ji-yoon Jenny Bae. Jenny enjoyed the talent show in 2015. Mikiko Ban. Mikiko loved the track and field day. Jeno Bong. Jenna will always remember meeting new friends from different countries. Igor Bogdanov. Igor's favorite memories include meeting teachers and making friends. Darina Bondarchuk. Darina will always remember the Victoria trip with her Socials 11 class. Michaela Bora. Michaela loved meeting her friends. Andre Emiliano Borges Ruiz. Every moment spent with people from Bodwell will stand out for Andre. Valeria Castro Arana. Valeria enjoyed spending time with friends. Chung Wen Matthew Chen. Matthew's favorite memory was dorm life and making friends. Chanya Jaran Loratevi. Chanya loved being with her friends and enjoying Vancouver. Pei Win Candy Chen. Candy enjoyed hanging out with her friends. Wei Po Weber Chen. Weber's favorite times were hanging out on the weekends with his friends. Yiling Elaine Chen. Making many friends will stand out for Elaine. Li Jun LJ Chen. LJ will always remember having class discussions. Yu Kit Calvin Chung. Calvin loves studying with people from different countries. Hoi Q Sabrina Chung. Sabrina enjoyed making friends from different countries. Vladimir Chibiskov. Participating in leadership activities were Vlad's favorite memories. Ugo Chukwu Chikizie. Playing in the soccer provincials will always stand out for Ugo. Wei Lun Chung. Wei Lun's favorite memory was taking calculus. Hakan Arda Choban. Making it to provincials undefeated 2 years in a row were Arda's favorite memories. Celcine Soledad Cuevo Lopez. All the crazy times with her friends will stand out for Celcine. Arsha Dagar. Arsha loved making memories with his best friends. Min Fong Jennifer Dong. Jennifer's favorite memory was the Whistler trip. Tamara Karanate Darlington. Tamara will always remember Sundays.
Could I now ask Mr. Seymour, Mr. Gooby, and Mr. Chu to join me on stage to continue the scroll presentations? Okay.
Rehana Dasumi. Rehana's favorite memory was when her dreams became her experiences. Shenzi Amber Dang. Amber will always remember having Yang Mama and Thomas Haas. John Kennedy Ekwe. John Kennedy will never forget going camping. Otobong Jumbo Etukado. Otobong will always remember being a captain. Alexander Ejkov. Alexander's favorite memory is participating in the provincials for swimming. Alua Doyensola Deborah Fedaro. Doyen's favorite memory is spending good times with good friends. Yunhao Chris Fan. Chris will never forget living in dorms. Ronghao Ribeiro Fu. Ribeiro will always remember participating in the dorm activities. Bindiria Ganbold. Bindiria's favorite memory is being a part of the basketball team. Polina Gavrichkova. Polina will never forget her orientation day and the multiculturalism of the school. Ola Alua Yimika Mofoluasa George. Yimika will remember being with her friends, her legacy family, Miss Megan and Miss Maddie. Najuka Gorpad. Najuka will remember being the senior girls volleyball team manager. Nenmin Margreta Gomwak. Margreta's favorite memory is the day she was awarded top citizen. Diana Galen Vargas. Diana will remember making friends from different countries. Carlos Javier Gutierrez Diaz. Carlos will remember getting to know people from many places. Yuki Hara. Yuki will never forget exploring Canadian life with his friends. Wayan He will always remember the school sports day. Wai Cheng Wilson He. Wilson will always remember PE class. Wyming Toby He. Toby's favorite memory is the band club. Orlando Herrera Baron. Orlando will never forget the first time snowboarding with his friends. Ting Ting Maxine Howe. Maxine will always remember chatting with her friends. Xiao Estella Huang. Estella will never forget being treated like a daughter by her homestay parents all of the time. Latong Brenda Huang. Brenda will always remember joining the basketball team. Lang Chung Kevin Hung. Kevin will always remember the basketball trip to Mexico and the band trip to Disney. Changshik Huangbo. Changshik's favorite memory is getting second place at the provincial championships. Tatsuhiro Izawa. Tatsuhiro will always remember the North Shore Soccer Championships. Waiji Sean Jiang. Sean will always remember meeting all the people he knows and now cares about. Shangzhen Ryan Jiang. Ryan will always remember having so many friends here. Daniela Paramobori Joseph O'Day. Daniela will always remember boarding activities with Miss Denise. Izumi Kanaoka. Izumi will always remember studying with various foreign students. Min Sun Joyce Kang. Joyce's favorite memory is being with friends from many different countries. Adil Kamid. Adil will never forget the Victoria trip. Timothy Kahagi. Timothy will remember the Disney trip. Margarita Rita Kromova. Rita will always remember the leadership camp. Maria Kusanova. Maria will always remember the Victoria trip. Sunshol Kim. Sunshol will never forget the provincial soccer tournament.
Could I now ask Ms. Fenyu, Mr. Burnett, and Ms. Hare to join me on the stage?
Tiara Kurniadi. Tiara's favorite memory is being the manager for the volleyball team. Ho Hai Nam Lei. Nam will always remember the holidays. Su Yao Rex Lei. Rex's favorite memory is meeting a lot of different people. Kin Bong Corey Lee. Corey will never forget chemistry lessons with Dr. Garland. Zhuoyan Parker Lee. Parker will always remember having classes with great friends and awesome teachers. Chi Yan Richard Lee. Richard's favorite memory is making friends from other countries. Zekai Kevin Lee. Zekai will always remember the first day he came to Bodwell. Jing Kai Adam Lin. Adam will never forget meeting all of his wonderful friends and great teachers. Shi Emily Lin. Emily will always remember making friends. Su Xiang Hermes Lin. He will never forget playing board games with staff and friends. Yingzhu Albert Liu. Albert will always remember meeting so many new friends that taught him a lot. Onana Christabel Maduabuchi. Ona enjoys hanging out with friends. Edgar Fitzgerald Martinez Aranda. Edgar's favorite Bodwell memory is making new friends and getting to know people from all over the world. Abdul Karim Olusegun Matemalola. Kareem enjoys meeting diverse people. Jinyi Jane Miao. Jane will never forget being with friendly peers and teachers. Wei Lam Monica Mock. Monica enjoyed staying with her friends in the dorm. Maxim Moskalev. Maxim's favorite Bodwell memory is having friendly relationships with the staff. Benjamin Mangwari. Benjamin's favorite memory is all of the awesome opportunities to grow as a leader. Tong Tae Nguyen. Tong Tae's favorite memory is all of the time he spent with his friends. Keishi Nishio. Keiichi will always remember making friends. Anel Nuramova. Anel will never forget how she met her friends. Tako Sheswa Niabadza. Tako's favorite memory is scoring the winning goal in the semi-final of provincials. Karen Ogo. Karen will always remember making lifelong friends like Anne Nguyen, Rina Santana, Alyssa Miura, and John Burke Gongor. Manami Ohata. Manami will always remember her volleyball team. Oluwadara Elizabeth Olayokun. Dara will always remember making new and diverse friends. Osato Hanwen Josefina Omigye. Osato will never forget the Victoria trip. Okaka Toseobari Ebenezer Osaroda. Okaka's favorite memory is participating in different activities. Ishio. Winston will always remember going to Victoria with the concert band. Ada Ozonal. Ada will never forget the Deep Cove camping trip. Birkin Ozturk. Birkin enjoyed being a part of the student community at Bodwell. Oksana Pomortseva. Oksana enjoyed meeting a lot of great people from all around the world with lots of unforgettable experiences. Vera Pivovarenko. Vera will always remember when she learned how to snowboard and play volleyball. Yanli Isabella Chiu. Isabella enjoyed studying and going on the Disney trip with her teacher and friends. Keishi Anders Chu. Anders enjoys getting the opportunity to study here. Enzo Kiros Moselin. Enzo will always remember making friends and learning great life lessons. Paula Rivera Ortiz. Paula will never forget the good friends and the great teachers and staff that she has met here. Nuoli Vicky Ruan. Vicky has enjoyed meeting lots of nice people.
Could I please ask Ms. Candor, Ms. White, and Mr. Reynolds to join me on the stage for the final presentations of the scrolls.
Ray Secure. Ray will always remember competing in the swimming provincials. Damilola Isa Saladin. Damilola Isa's favorite memory was listening to Henry Way's speech. Rina Santanda. Rina will always remember playing for the basketball team. Tamar Scott Naji. Making unique friends he will cherish was a memory that stood out for Tamar. Young sang Ricky Seo. Ricky will always remember meeting people from different countries and forming friendships with them. Semen Simon Studenikov. Simon will never forget all the new knowledge he has acquired. Mohammed Yasir Kolawol. His first time in Victoria was a memorable experience for Mohammed. Momoko Takizawa. Momoko will never forget playing on the senior girls volleyball team and managing the senior boys basketball team. Belema Tamuno Francis. Belema's favorite memory was when the senior soccer team made it to provincial finals. Sassy Wimol, Tikapitako, Jan. Jan, being on the volleyball team was a memorable experience for Jan. Bandawe, Gwen, Theram, and Cone. Gwen will always remember joking around with friends. Kayla Thomas. Participating in drama class was a memory that stood out for Kayla. Kuan Yu Ariel Ting. Ariel will never forget all the great experiences at Bodwell. Hong and Emily Tran. Emily will always remember the long weekends, the winter breaks, and the New Year's 2017 party. Elvira Soy Reese Scalava. Elvira, she's learned how to move forward and what school stood for. Pedro Enrique Tironi Zapparoli. Playing basketball was a memorable experience for Pedro. Darina Timofeyeva. Darina's favorite memory was taking Economics 12 with Mr. Laffin. Teng Fei Bill Wan. Studying hard was a memorable experience for Bill. Ryo Woon Royan Wang. Royan will never forget playing games with schoolmates and joining classmates.
Are you sure, Miss Cameron?
That's what I've got here. What's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan, you're next. Z-Fan, Ryan Wang. Ryan will always remember cross country with Miss H and his friends. Rushan Emma Wang. Emma's favorite memory was the Disney trip with the school band and Mr. Neeson. In Kime Gabri Williams. Making new friends was a memorable experience for MK. Ulysses Wong. Ulysses will always remember meeting and becoming friends with Faisal, Tuna, and Birkin. Lixin Wu. Being a basketball team manager was a memory that stood out for Ada. Shuman Wu. Carrie's favorite memory was keeping the school record for the girls' long jump and girls' 20-meter sprint. Lucky Stephen Shao. Being a member of the junior basketball team was a memorable experience for Stephen. Jing Yu Kelly Shao. Kelly will always remember spending time with her friends. Narumi Yamada. Narumi will never forget English class with Mr. Chung and spending time with her friends. Jie J. Yang. Jay's favorite memory was making great friends and meeting great teachers. Jack Ye. Going on the Disney trip with his fellow band members was a memorable experience for Jack. Indra Yasunmuk. Being on the volleyball team was a memory that stood out for Indra. Olga Yulina. Olga will never forget meeting her dear friends. Maria Zakharova. Maria will always remember all the fun times spent with friends. Zan Hao Gavin Zhang. Gavin's favorite memory was in Economics 12 when he sold fish balls. Peng Bo Zach Zhang. Zach will always remember making so many new friends. Lin Zhang. The Social Studies 11 field trip to Victoria was a memory that stood out for Ling. Yu Xuan Tim Zong. Living in the dorm was a memorable experience for Tim. Bing Shuang Lucas Zhao. May I present graduation 2017. Congratulations, graduating class of 2017. Can I please get you to take your seats once again? To close our 2017 Bodwell High School graduating ceremony, I'd like to invite Ms. Kathy Lee to come up and make some closing remarks.
Thank you, Ms. Ray. What a spectacular ceremony. The success of this ceremony cannot happen without the cooperation of a lot of people. Can I have a round of applause to Mr. Hassam Halas, our Vice Principal, and all the student volunteers who helped. In addition, there are three major pieces of preparation Ms. Jerry Kendron, Ms. Erica Weiss, and the art students who decorated the school. Ms. Jens Niesen and Ms. Laura Dossman, who arranged the musical performances. And Ms. Ray Swire, Ms. Mary Kim, Ms. Megan Dacio, Mr. Doug Graham, and Mr. Ivan Ng, who physically orchestrated the ins and outs of all the graduates. Another round of applause to all teachers, counselors, and hall advisors, please. To every student in this room, I did the thank you for a reason. I am showing you one important thing here: appreciating those who are kind and loving towards you. Some parents communicate closely with you, showing you all the tender, loving care anytime, anywhere. Some parents might be busy with work and not so available. Deep in their hearts, you are the most valuable to them, and please find ways to show your appreciation. To parents, thank you so much for coming. You are seeing the construction around us now, but I promise when you come next time for your other children's graduation, a modern and creative learning space with ample underground parking will be greeting you. And to my dear graduates, a big thank you for Tetsuhiro. You spoke well, and I shall always remember the excitement when I hugged you winning the huge soccer games. I shall remember the moments when I sat down with many of the graduates, listening to your voice and your reasoning, getting louder and clearer. I hope you remember how I asked you to watch over your younger brothers and sisters and watch over your friends. Friends are forever. Congratulations again on your big day, and march on. A challenging journey is still ahead. Once again, thank you to all of you, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, Ms. Lee, for those nice words towards our grads and our guests. I would kindly ask that all guests and students remain in the gym until the graduates have done their recessional. You can join us for refreshments in the cafeteria following the recessional, and feel free to ask staff to take pictures with you and your son and daughter. We have a special photo booth also set up in the cafeteria for exactly that. Students, please wait until all graduates and all guests have exited the gym before you begin to leave. Class of 17, would you please stand and follow Mr. Graham and Mr. Ng?